Alright, how's it going everyone? So in this video here, I'm going to go over lapping or flattening your CPU. Lapping is a precision term for extremely flat. That's basically what lapping is, and you need lapping plates for that. Lapping plates can range in prices. The cheap ones that are not exactly precision are like $200 lapping plates, and the more precision ones can go up to the tens of thousands of dollars. So what we're going to do is, what can we do at home? So you can use sandpaper. I don't recommend using an orbital sandpaper unless you can get the sticky side. Do not get the Velcro style. Get the sticky style of this. And what this will do is you can glue the sticky side down to an actual flat object. Now, that flat object, a lot of people use a piece of glass, but they're using a very thin piece of glass that's fairly large. There's a lot of ripples, convex, concaves in the actual glass. So what I would suggest is getting a nice thick piece of glass that's about 8 inches by 8 inches, about half-inch thick piece of glass, and use that and stick whatever you're going to use to that surface, like a piece of sandpaper. So I'm going to go over the techniques of lapping your CPU and your cooler. Now, these are not perfectly done, so I'm going to do some lapping here and get it a lot better for you. And I'm going to show you here. So we got a drop of water on the CPU here. I'm going to put that to the actual cooler, all right? And you'll see that it will slide all over the place. That's okay. I'll just hold it down until it stops sliding. That way I know that it's making contact with the cooler, and it will take a little bit of time here. All right, so now it's not sliding all over the place. I can let go of it too. As you see, it doesn't slide all over the place. I gotta clean up the CPU. It's got some thermal paste on it. But yeah, this is just to show the lapping. So some water. This is what we are trying to achieve, and this isn't even done. Okay, this isn't even fully lapped yet to my standard, and you can go to this point here to where a drop of water can lift up the cooler, whatever you're using. This is a Peerless Assassin 120 SE. It is not a small cooler. All right, it is a double tower six heat pipe cooler. This is not a light cooler by any means, and easily lifted up. All right, so there you go. Now what we're gonna do is pull this up, show you. It's kind of hard to see with the little bit of water, but we can see it. See how that little drop spread across the whole surface, basically. That is what we're aiming to achieve. And the longer that you actually hold this to it with some pressure, because when you do mount your cooler to the CPU, it'll continuously put pressure onto it. That's part of its job. I would hope that it would do that. It will eventually spread out to the whole area, as long as you have a nice flat surface. And it'll be nice, even, and very thin layer across the whole surface. So that way when you pull it up, there's barely any thermal paste in between the actual CPU and the cooler. And that's what we're trying to achieve with this. So I'm going to clean this up. So, alright, so now we got it all cleaned up here, and I'm going to go over the lapping methods. So again, you're going to want your sandpaper or whatever you're going to use. I will leave a link in the description for lapping plates you can get on Amazon. They're a metal base, decent thickness to them, fairly flat. Like, they are fairly flat plates, and they're diamond grit, so they'll last a while, and they're fairly cheap. Or you can pick yourself up some sandpaper, and I do recommend Diablo. This is the only piece of paper or sandpaper that I have right now, just due to the fact I'm currently in the works of moving, so I'll have a lot of stuff put away. So I have this piece here. It's in decent shape. It's a little worn down, but that's okay. You're gonna want that. You're gonna want to be able to tape up your surface. So you gotta put that down to a flat surface, and you gotta tape it down with whatever tape, and you gotta put another flat object on top of that and tape it down, and that's gonna be your surface. Or what I would recommend as well, if you are going to be doing a bunch of CPUs too, or just want to make sure you got a nice flat perfect yield, and because if you tape it down, sometimes you can get it so that way when you're actually lapping it and flattening the CPU, it'll bunch up the side the sides and it'll rub down on your edges. So I'll show you here why I'm not achieving that. So as you can see, the edges here on this, see how nice and evenly, you can still see that nickel plating around. I'm not bunching that sandpaper and working away on the edges only. I'm working away the center. As you can see, we got a little bit of nickel plating here too, like a perfect circle here, because we have a weird dome in the center on this CPU. This CPU is really weird. It has a dome in the center. It convex, or sorry, it convex in the center. It concaves around it in like a circle pattern, and then it convex back on the outside, which is very. This is a very odd CPU. I haven't seen one like this. So if you see one like this, this is rare that this happens. Now, when you do that and get it all set up, I'm just going to hold my fingers because, again, I'm at a point with this which is fairly easy. What you're looking to do is do figure eights. So you're looking to do, figure eights, all right? And we're going to move across the sandpaper. So you have an 8x8 would be a better piece of paper because then you got the whole surface to do figure eights, all right? And let's say you do have a smaller piece of paper, that's fine. Just do figure eights though. Across the whole surface, all right? You can do some back and forth, spin it, back and forth, spin it to diagonal, and do that. And that right there makes it so when you do the figure eights again, you can wear it down quicker, but you're also making sure that you're not hitting the same groove over and over. And you keep hitting the same groove over and over, you'll have some really nasty scratches. See how mine looks pretty buffed up and there looks like there is scratches? Those are you can't feel any scratches. But if you go in the same direction over and over, you'll make nasty scratches that are very hard to take out. So do not do over and over in one direction. That's why figure eight is the main lapping method. You want to have nice pressure across the whole surface. If you're kind of worried about how you're holding it like this, put your finger in the center here. And all you're doing with the edges, like with the edges of this, so you're holding in the center here, like right in the center of the CPU. And all you're doing with the edges is just holding it so that way it doesn't slide up on you. But you can literally just use your finger. The more you start taking this down, the stickier it'll get. And the main thing is not putting a whole lot of pressure. You're trying to take your time on this, because if you start using a lot of pressure, you're going to start pushing it over to one side or another side, and you start wearing it down in a wrong area. So this right here is a really good way to do it. Now, I know that Thermal Grizzly DeBauer makes a special little device for flattening it, but it's still not perfect. The device, if you start using the device wrong, it will start flattening down the one side, then you'll have to go to the other side, then all of a sudden you got a big old convex or a really angled sanding job. Like, it's not a perfect device. There's no perfect device until you start getting into specialty tools, and this is the kind of stuff we're trying to do at home. We're trying to do this kind of stuff at home to where we can get this to a very nice flatness, to where it can be close to a lap job, a nice professional job. So you want to take your time on this. Use a higher grit 120 grit sandpaper to start, and that's just to wear down the nickel plating quickly and put some heavy grooves into it, heavy scratches. And you gotta use 120, 220, 400, and then 600. Do not go past 600 though. And when you do the 600 grit as well, afterwards you're gonna hit it with some Scotch-Brite. And that way it's not a mere polish. We're not looking for a mere polish. And I'll show you here in a second what I mean by mere polish. Alright, so what we're not looking for is a mirror polish. As you can see, we're getting close to a mirror polish because we can get the reflection from the pencil there. As you can see, we got the reflection of the pencil here, but it's not perfectly mirror, and we can still see some imperfections. We don't want this to be mirror polish. A mirror polish is not going to be good for our thermal transfer for when we add thermal paste, because the thermal paste will just slip out. That's why I'm saying 600 grit max, then hit it with some Scotch-Brite. All right, so like any Scotch-Brite that you can get, just quick little buff after you get it nice and flat. Because what we're trying to do with this, and even up to the 600 grit, we'll start polishing it. What we're trying to do with this is just flatten the CPU and the cooler. All right, we're trying to do the CPU and the cooler. Now, after that, we're doing match lapping. If you want to go really far and do a match lap, what we're going to do is add some you can use thermal grizzly. Actually, thermal grizzly has diamond grit in it, very, very high grit, but you're going to add on some lapping compound. If you don't have lapping compound, you can use actual graphite. There's no lead in pencils anymore. You can use graphite. So you can use some graphite off of like your 600 grit sandpaper. And you can put that down, and don't put any pressure yet, but we're just gonna lightly move this around the surface. Then what we're gonna do, like that, is add a little bit of oil. All right, not much, just a little bit of oil. Push this down, and we're not trying to put a whole lot of pressure here. All right, we're gonna do the figure eight. All right. Now, if you do feel kind of like a grinding effect, check your surface. If there's any kind of imperfections, like you see any high grains in that, get rid of that. So what I can do here is just pull away. There we go. Back over the surface. And we're going to do the figure eights again on the surface. And this is a match lapping. We're lapping our CPU to our cooler. And you're basically using nice two flat surfaces to lap each other to become a flatter surface and like to each other, so they're actually match lap. This is match lapping, and this is a good way to do it. And we spin it. Again, we're not putting a whole lot of pressure. We're just putting a little bit of pressure in the center with our finger. All right, like this. We're just doing figure eights. And when we pull it off, you'll see that we are starting to get a nice flat surface by the way it looks. Because the way I pulled it off, you'll see that we have higher spots over here and whatnot. That's fine. So just keep doing this. Lapping compound works really good too. Just make sure you do have like a lubrication. If not, because we have two copper sections together, it can start to cold fuse itself, and that's when you'll start getting big nicks into it. You don't want to get those big nicks. Couple circles, couple back and forth, and back to figure eight. Main method of doing this is figure eights, okay? Okay, and we'll clean this up. And this will take a long time. Take your time doing this. That way you can get a nice look afterwards. And make sure you do have some isopropyl to clean up any of the oil. Unless you're using like a silicone-based oil, then that'll be awesome too. Works very good for this as well. CPU. There we go. Now, again, we're not looking for a mirror polish, so if you are starting to get a mirror polish on this, just Scotch-Brite this up. Same thing with the CPU here. Again, you might see some imperfections. As long as you can't feel them, that's what we're looking for. All right, and the CPU, again, we're not looking for a mirror polish, so if you start polishing it up too much, hit it with some Scotch-Brite. And when you do the lapping to the cooler as well, you will start seeing that you will have more of a polish. So make sure you do hit it with some Scotch-Brite afterwards. So then we're going to put some water. Again, just a drop of water. We'll hold this to the surface. It'll slide around, but we'll hold it to the surface. And it feels like we're good there. And we should be able to pick this up after it's, again, sits down. You'll see that you can't move it around. And then we'll be able to pick up our cooler. You can even pick up like your motherboard with the CPU, push that, like put the CPU in, latch it, and really put the cooler down to it, hold the cooler down to it, not even attach it, and you can pick up your whole motherboard and everything. That's how good that you want to look at for this. Now, another thing that we need to look at, another thing that we're going to have to look at is continuously put the CPU in the actual motherboard to make sure you're still above the actual holder, the latch, so that way you can make contact. Now, if you want to make sure you are going nice far lap on this, and as you see, we got like a perfect, it's hard to see here. We got like a perfect circle, and we're looking for, if we do put a drop of water or thermal paste there, and when we push it down in the center of the CPU, we are looking for a nice circle pattern. We aren't looking for it to spread over to one side. This is actually pretty good in my opinion. It's hard to see, but you can see it a bit here. Nice circle is what we're looking for. That means we know that the drop is circle and the surface is flat and spreading out nice and even across the whole surface. That's what we're looking for. So again, so with the latch though, you can, let's say you do go past it, and you can take the latch off and just sand down the actual latch a bit, so that way you got contact again. I mean, hopefully you don't go past that point, because that's why you want to keep checking it. And this is going to take you a while. This is not something you just do in 20 minutes, okay? This is not something you do in 20 minutes. Especially the match lapping. Match lapping can take hours. It really does take hours. So take your time. Especially if it's your first time on this, take your time. It can be quite fun to look at what you're working on and checking to see how flat it really is. A razor blade, you gotta be careful though. Using a razor blade to check how flat it is very good, because razor blades are extremely flat from factory. So you can see how flat it is with a razor blade. They do make lapping lenses, which is like a glass. It's kind of basically a glass that reflects light in lines, and the lines of light hitting the surface will let you know how flat that surface is, the way it bends. But those don't really work for this. I've tried it years ago. I've tried it. It's very hard to, because it's such a small surface. It really is not a large surface at all. It's just hard to check with that. And I find the razor blade works really good, because a brand new razor blade is extremely flat from factory. That is how we are going to lap a CPU. Again, figure eight is going to be the best method. If you can afford a more expensive lapping plate, it's the exact same method. Figure eights is the pattern that you want to do on this, making sure you got good pressure on it as well. I could show how to do actual lapping in the future. It's just currently I don't have the tools to show you how to do it proper lapping, because lapping you need some precision tools for it, and to make sure you're got a perfect height all the way across the distance, your XY distance and your Z as well. So a lot of that does take time and money for that kind of tools, but at home you can achieve some pretty good results. Also, when you're holding the CPU to the surface here, if you hold the CPU up and then let it drop, it shouldn't make a ting noise, okay? There shouldn't be any kind of ting noise. It should be able to drop nice and quietly, like a cushion of air going through it. That also you can use for testing as well, alright? And yeah, you should be able to hear the little noise once it actually hits. Just a cushion of air though, it's not a ting noise like that. You shouldn't be able to hear that. You should be able to hear a nice cushion sound. That's it for this video here. I try to keep it somewhat short, but this is not something that is very easy to show in a short amount of time. To show people how to do this, it takes a long time. To do this takes a long time. You will eventually get better if you do a whole bunch of CPUs on what you should and shouldn't be doing. If it's your first time, take your time and follow the steps from a low grit to a higher grit. Don't go past 600 grit. Going past 600 grit from all my testing, again, I've done hundreds of CPUs. It does not matter past 600 grit. And do not polish your CPU. If you polish your CPU, it's just going to give you bad results, because the thermal paste will start slipping out and giving you air bubbles basically. So be wary on that. Hopefully this helps you out. Again, thank you to all my viewers, subscribers, and donors. You guys are helping this channel more than you know. And again, as always, don't forget to get her done. Peace.